So, Iris,
Me.
you have been, at this point in time, it has been months, practically almost a year, into your studies, both new and old, most of it trying to distract you from what seems to have stalled or otherwise not forwarded itself, the plights that plague your friends and family. They seem to have halted, and with it, you are fidgety, restless,
Indeed.
and you've set to making, specifically, you've set to start making things in your downtime. Hold on.
Oh, we should also do some Cade stuff. Right. But that's later.
Hmm.
I nearly forgot.
You have control? Probably not.
Let me check. No.
You should now.
Yes.
So, what does Iris do? Currently given at least most to, if not near control, total control over one of the forges in another sector. But
Okay.
as the one that is currently being used in your sector of things is a bit overhauled with work.
Yeah. We're gonna start by enhancing my beloved T for 2
All right.
with the Serenity Crystal.
So I need you to roll a d20 plus your spellcasting modifier.
Right. No tool bonuses.
What how are you enhancing it? Are you what tool are you
Uh
using?
well, I do have the right tool for the job.
Mhm.
So I don't have access to Smith's tools normally.
Mhm.
So I probably won't be using that, but I do have jeweler's tools, access, and I can use my thieves' tools to make them.
All right.
And considering this is a tool that is effective for inserting a crystal
Mhm.
into the keyblade and making it work right, I think
Mhm.
jeweler's tools would be beneficial.
All right. So yes, use your tool proficiency.
Okay,
So
which
spellcasting
unfortunately,
plus tool proficiency.
all right, so that's a +2 because it's a query. Actually, what attribute would you like? Dexterity.
Dexterity or intelligence?
All
Because
right.
it's both dexterity to make sure that it doesn't, snap, break, or anything like that, which is a different roll, or intelligence to know how it fits.
Okay. So I'm gonna go with. So that's plus Dex plus my spell casting ability.
Yes.
Do you mean the spell modifier or the spell or the casting itself?
Uh,
Like wait.
what you cast with.
Okay. So Dex and intelligence. Let's go. 16.
So you do know from witnessing other people do much the same thing on your downtime when you're not around the chuckle fucks.
Hmm.
They they have a habit of not setting it in like flat or as flat as a crystal can get. They set it down
Okay.
tipped. They set it down tipped to one edge point essentially.
Okay.
And they kind of wedge it in bit by bit, which is why synthesis upgrades take more time than synthesis creation.
Got it.
But I need you to roll either Arcana or Dexterity.
Okay.
This is to see if it doesn't break. It'll still activate. It just shows if it breaks or not.
Uh, that's a 24.
So the way that synthesis upgrades work is that you don't use the full crystal, you use its magic.
Right.
If it breaks, you've used the magic that it has already, and it's in that one piece until you upgrade or get rid of it. If it doesn't break, you have a hollow synthesis crystal that can be imbued with anything else of the same tier.
Ooh.
So that one does not break.
So I will add a hollow synthesis crystal to my inventory.
Hmm.
Awesome. So now I get spell mastery.
Hmm. Which I
Remind me
believe
how that works.
was it a crystal or a stone? I know you didn't have a
It
gem.
was a crystal.
Crystal is, I believe, stone was a quarter, so I think a half of your total mana, just
Half of my total mana.
added onto it. Yeah,
Sorry. Let, let me check the lore because I think it said something different.
it might have because I know spell mastery and mana mastery were on there.
So synthesis crystals. Mastery plus, allowing the wielder to gain mastery in 2 spells at 1 level higher than I have permanently.
Oh, okay, yeah. I must have been thinking of mana mastery.
Okay. So,
Thanks for the save.
no problem. When you say spell mastery, now that has to be spells I've already mastered, right? No spells I already have, right?
I would say because you basically you have the hollow crystal, which it does show a bit of mastery in and of itself. However,
Hmm.
I'd say if you want to have a mastered spell of one spell level higher, you'd have to use both of those. Because I
So
think it
both
was two.
options.
Yeah.
So if I don't master a spell I already have, then I have to use both of them. Okay.
Because it's like gaining a spell and then instantly mastering it.
Yeah. That makes sense. Thinking. Now, I'm sorry to ask this again. I know I keep asking questions. It's just I'm not as great as keeping track of the mechanics as I would like to be. What does mastery do?
Mastery halves the amount of MP you use or makes it stronger. Depends on what you choose.
Okay. Let me take a look at wizard spells. Oh my god. Okay. What do you think would be more useful, counterspell or dispel magic?
As of this point in time, I'd say dispel magic.
Sounds good to me.
There's like four other people who have access to counterspell, but no dispel magic.
Sounds good. We're gonna use dispel magic, and we're gonna make it have MP.
Okay. And it's the second level spell, right? Or is it first level?
It's third.
Third level, so it would be 6 after 3.
Nice. That's good. That's good. So that only takes. So I've got one spell. I've got one slot for that, but it only takes actually technically 2.
Hmm.
All right, 2 it is. Okay.
Well, technically, because of how the mana system works, if you have the mana for it, you can cast it indefinitely.
Okay. Right. I have to put spell slots. I have to put some spell slots in there somewhere.
Hmm.
Okay. We got it.
So what is Iris doing as she finally completes, after probably long hours she's not exactly paying attention to, finally completes her upgrade? What
she's
does it look
going
like?
to she's going to finish that finish the little bit of soldering that she had yet to finish. Look proudly at her fucked up little teacup keyblade.
Hmm.
Yes, I think this will do nicely. And there's so much magic to take away. going to be a pain in the ass.
Everything's a pain in the
Nobody.
ass, girly.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I hope nobody heard that. She sort of startles and looks around.
And behind you, kind of almost directly behind you, leaning up against one of the statue bases, is just short hair, pale skin, wearing a big, oversized fluff coat that shouldn't be near a forge at all. And he probably is burning up and is not admitting it to anybody. But the first thing you notice about him is not any of that. It's his eyes, a bright cyan blue.
Ooh. Uh, um. Mm. Hello. I don't think I've seen you around before.
Probably not. I don't make it a habit.
Who might you be?
And a grin creeps across his face as he pushes off of the base of the statue, steps forward a couple of times, and opens his arms kind of wide in that not like dramatic gesture, but kind of flamboyant instead.
He's showy.
Yeah. If anything, he is melodramatic.
Yes.
And he goes, "Me? Oh, come on, you couldn't have just heard me in passing. The leader of the Silver Bullets."
Who?
Ah, have you heard of us? And grinning.
Iris. Heard of is maybe a bit of a bold statement. I know very little at all. But I'm sure that's how you like it. And she, I am too big. She steps forward. Why am I large? It doesn't matter.
No, it's because I forgot to fix his when I put it on the map.
He steps forward, um, looking him up and down. Her keyblade is still in her hand. She's not letting go of that.
Hmm.
Now, you'll forgive me for this bit of crass behavior, but how am I supposed to know that you really are the leader of the Silver Bullets if I can't know anything about the Silver Bullets?
I guess that's a true point. Can't really believe me if I don't give you some proof, and I don't got any on me right now. I was out for a walk, you know?
And so, what brought you over here?
Heard of some prodigy building a terrible weapon of mass destruction from the students. Thought I'd check it out.
Mass destruction? She blinks it down at the keyblade. I'd hardly call this mass destruction. Here, I have an idea. And she steps forward. If you really are the leader of the Silver Bullets, I'm sure you can avoid a blast from this delightful weapon so quite easily.
Are you gonna try and shoot me?
Not here! You're already burning up, likely, and this place could not handle an explosion.
He's just grinning the entire time, as if having a lovely conversation. A tea with two people, almost.
Ugh. Now, I'll believe you if you let me shoot you and dodge it.
Isn't that kind of easy when you're telling me?
Hmm, I don't know about that. And she gives a little smile. Now, shall we go?
Sure, little lady. And you watch as you approach, like from sidelines, just keeping an eye on him. He reaches into his jacket and takes out a full martini glass.
What do you have there?
He sips it. A drink. Want some?
I'm going to have to decline, but thank you. She looks very puzzled. Because it's almost certainly not poisoned if he just drinks it, but
You never
just
know.
You have no reason to trust this guy, so
And then he stops as he takes one foot up the staircase and goes, I don't know these grounds. I never went here before.
never.
Nope. Self
Not an
taught,
academy.
baby.
She's still smiling. All right, then
Just
I
kind
shall
of hops
lead the
to the
way.
side and just kind of like, I'm in front of you. My bad.
Now, I'll lead the way if you insist. And she's gonna keep an eye on him the whole time, but she's like wandering in toward the training grounds, keeping out of the way of anything interesting.
And he is, though, whether it's on purpose or not, is keeping within your peripherals.
Interesting. Can I roll insight? Just
Sure.
like for now. Okay. Let me double check my character sheet bonus. That is 17.
With a 17, you know two things. One,
All right.
if he's hiding anything, he's doing a damn good job of it. Two, he has an odd personality for someone who claims to be the leader of a hidden faction.
Yeah.
So at the very
Which is
least, you think he's not lying about what he's told you.
okay.
Whether you have your doubts still or not is your decision.
My prerogative, yeah.
Yeah. Where do you lead him? There's a shooting range nearby.
I'm definitely going to take him to not the shooting range necessarily because that's more of like a specific target thing,
Mm-hmm.
but like an arena where there's enough space to move around. Because this is by technicality a little bit of a battle. Because I
Mm-hmm.
love causing problems for my DM.
I
Sorry for
love you
making you
too.
switch maps immediately.
No. It's actually quite funny because I figured out a thing I could do so I don't lose track of the thing that I'm on and have to search for the party ribbon.
Woo!
So go ahead as you lead him on top of the major arena, which you remember was where someone first tried to attack Lex after
Right.
the whole incident of
The
him being
coronation.
blinded. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, she's leading him out. Disappears off the map. Woo! I can't roll her all the way out.
Mhm. So how do you address him? Do you just keep him in your line of sight?
Um. Hmm. So, I realize I haven't asked your name yet. What should I call you?
Do you want my name or my de facto title?
Both is good.
You're not gonna believe me. And you can hear the half-cocked smirk.
Yeah, I could already hear the half-cocked smirk. Uh, Iris sort of rolls her eyes. Just tell me.
Captain Hunter.
Do I recognize this name?
Roll a history check for me.
Oh boy. Let me open my skills sheet again. Every day I'm suffering. Oh, that's the one I have a plus 11 to. Let's go. 25.
As you're walking, it takes you about a minute of just digging through your own mental awareness of different people you've met, people who they've talked about, rumors, hell, even skepticism that you've overheard. And the one thing that peers through is Captain Hunter No. You don't know that name, but you do know someone who was described to dress very similarly of very heavy coats, very heavy fabrics, swathed in niceties, drinking a drink that's not fit for the area, wandering around worlds, but never being noticed the way that knights and mages often are, as if he belonged there despite not blending in.
Interesting. I don't think I recognize the name itself. Mm, but I think I'm getting a picture of you now.
He doesn't say anything, but you can still hear the smile.
Hmm. Now, once we're there, I have a little bit of a plan in place, though. I can't tell you what that is. I expect you to react as sharply as possible, and I'll be on the lookout in the meantime. The moment they set foot in the arena, Iris is gone. I just cast Vanish.
Okay.
Which is spells. First level spells are how many mana?
2.
2. Okay. Let me just quickly set something up. Okay. So now I have 91 mana. So Iris is quickly just gone. She's going to work her way around and hide right here. She's going to wait, hold her action, and when that action occurs, she's going to shoot.
I'm actually gonna get out my dice for this bastard.
Basically, once he hits the center of once he hits this little area right here, or where, like that general corner
Mm-hmm.
of this vicinity, she's gonna shoot.
You see him pause at the edge of where the initial waterfront kind of moves and sways with a breeze that isn't there. And he looks around at first where you were, and then looking in the opposite direction towards where there are still cracks embedded in the pavement where they couldn't fix because it was magical damage.
Mm-hmm.
So looking to the other side where there's still, again, cracks in the upper ring from where they are slowly repairing the damage done by a previous fight. And he just stands there for a moment and goes, huh, you guys see a lot of action, don't you?
No response, but Iris is taking notes. May I roll insight?
Go ahead.
Sorry, I'm gonna do that a lot. That is a 15.
His demeanor hasn't changed. He's still playful and eccentric and melodramatic, but he seems settled more in the soles of his feet than in the center of his chest.
Interesting. So he's squaring.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Does he move?
Make a perception check.
Interesting. Okay. My passive is like 19, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Was that not enough?
If you can get a 20, I'll let you know.
No.
He doesn't move.
Interesting. Iris is going to give it. Well, because she's holding her action, she can't do anything for that. But what's my bonus action? Options. That's one action. Hold on, sorry, I have to check for bonus action options. Is scan an action or a bonus action?
Eh, I don't think it matters. Like, I've never had it mattered in that sense.
Okay, so can I use it as a bonus action here?
Yeah.
All right. She's going to use scan to kind of see if there are if he set something up that she hasn't been able to encounter yet.
As you,
I
what are you doing?
yeah. Yeah, no, that's it.
As you reach up with invisible touch to like almost activate a set of unseen goggles, as I'm sure that's how you activate your scan.
Mm-hmm.
And you glance around, at first around, almost like a target reticle locking in, and you realize that your scan isn't locking on to anything in that direction. You can see him, he's there, it's not locking on.
Okay, so he has vanished and left something else in its place. Or I have a theory.
Mm-hmm.
Am I allowed to roll um am I allowed to roll Arcana to see if I can determine whether the theory is true or not?
What's the theory?
He's the thing that is there, the person that is present in this moment is a major illusion.
Go ahead and roll Arcana.
Nat 20, 28.
As you stare over this person that your scan isn't locking onto, it you cycle through what you know of your studies, especially in the last couple of months of your magical studies with Avery. You there's a good number of things it can be, but it's hard to decipher if it's a spell because it casts a shadow. And even major illusion does not cast a shadow. And you cycle for more, what if it's not a spell? What if it's an ability granted to you by a specific path that you take in your class? And then it registers. Oh fuck, he's an Echo Knight.
Oh fuck. Okay. Okay. Well, Iris is going to remain prepared, but she's going to change the action she's holding.
Okay.
She's going to instead cast Booming Blade when he gets too close.
You have a 19 passive perception, correct? You, as you're facing the Echo Knight, the Echo illusion, the one that casts a shadow and tricks a lot of people who don't think ahead,
Okay.
you do realize that it is just the copy. And then you flicker your gaze briefly outward. But then you hear behind you the disruption of sand.
Oh, yeah. Iris has prepared a vanish. Well, if the vanish isn't necessary, Iris still has Booming Blade on. So,
You can roll Arcana to see if you're being seen or not.
okay. Other rolls. No. I got a 10.
You're not sure.
Okay. Iris is going to keep her vanish up, but she is still going to, yeah, hold that Booming Blade, wait for him to get into melee range, and then hit him. Because if he's an Echo Knight, he is not likely to be a ranged attacker.
Another disruption of sand about 10, 15 feet behind you.
Right.
Like,
Iris also.
with your 19 passive perception, you know that yes, he might be doing it on purpose, but if he is, you still had to strain very slightly to hear him.
All right. So Iris is going to step out of the water, leave a notable splash, and move around to here. Sort of try to lure him.
Make an Arcana check for me.
Okay. Nat 19, that's a 27.
As you splash outward, you know you could leave a trace for him to follow, as if to lure, but you realize that he'd probably stray away from it on purpose.
Right.
So what you do instead is that you use your vanish to cover your tracks.
Ooh.
And as a result, as you're looking around, focusing your arcana and mana into hiding what tracks would be there, wet or sloshing, you see a waiver of mana, so slight that anybody else probably would have thought it was just from you. But he was about 3 feet away from you in that moment before you leapt out. You cannot see him though.
Okay. So that waiver of mana. So I would have been able to use Booming Blade, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's my held action. All right. So I'm going to do that. It's just this moment of I have to roll a melee attack.
All right.
Which is interesting. What's my Oh, and because I'm unseen, I have sneak attack, right?
Mm-hmm. For the record, you were in the water. He was right there.
Yeah. Dear God. Okay. Yeah, that would have allowed me to attack.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got bonus sneak attack. Does a 29 hit?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, because Tifa 2 shoots explosive, what
Mm-hmm.
does it do on a close up?
I think it would either be the patented smoke grenade or a one of those like heavy rounds that don't do piercing, but if they hit you, God forsaken, God damn it, like.
So 1d12 bludgeoning, you'd say,
Mm-hmm.
on a close up? Okay. So Iris is gonna do. Obviously, this is all non-lethal.
Mm-hmm.
So Iris goes. It's 1d12. I'm actually not gonna use sneak because the goal is not to kill this bitch.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 5 plus. Oh my god, 13 damage. 5 bludgeoning, 8 thunder.
Mm-hmm.
And if he moves again, he'll take more thunder damage. 2d8.
All right. Is there anything else you do?
Iris is going to drop the vanish. I recommend you do what I've done, just in case.
Could you repeat that?
I recommend you do what I've done and drop the glamour, just in case.
And from above you, you hear, "What glamour?" sitting on top of the perch right here, on top, just watching. As you look back, and both of the Echo Knight illusions vanish.
You're a troublesome one. Iris is going to fire T for 2. We're going to see if he actually manages to dodge it.
Hmm. So
Because
you're
this
firing
is
at
where
an
the.
angle.
Yep. Which, I mean, I will probably move back just a little bit.
Hmm.
The attack is around 30 feet.
Hmm.
That's a miss. So, well, actually, 18.
Roll intelligence real quick.
Okay. 8
Total?
total.
Ouch. Yeah, you just see him duck backwards the moment it gets too close. Like, in that sense of it's almost dancer-like, of he just flips backwards, almost seems to kick it past him and it explodes about uh 15 feet away from him. And he stands back up, dusts himself off, and goes, "Was that enough?"
I'd say so. At least in terms of whether I believe you're capable. Uh, she pauses. Are we done?
I don't know, are you?
Yes. I just wanted to make sure you weren't going to pull anything else.
Pull anything. I'm literally just here to offer you a way in.
A way in? She
Yeah,
sort of pauses, drops the gun. Well, not drops it, but like
lowers
holsters it
it.
essentially. Yeah.
And almost peering over the edge, leans kind of close to the edge and rests his chin on his fingers, grinning again. Yeah, you can't get into our bases without one of our little pins.
Let's see it then.
And he reaches over to the inner lapel of the shirt that he's wearing, turns it over, and you see a silver, like an actual silver bullet almost, inlaid and engraved into a silver outline with gold inlay, like almost filigree.
Whoa.
That almost seems to be imitating some sort of wind around it, like showing the trajectory of it.
Goodness. And that the gold filigree is the mark of a real pin, right?
Hmm. It is.
Okay.
Make a history
Goodness.
check seeing this one.
Okay. No.
As far as you know, it's real.
All right. Iris sort of steps up the stairs. I'm intrigued. And you're sure I'm a good fit?
I don't know. You'd have to pass a couple of tests. But my second hand already finds interest in you, and she doesn't like anybody. Winks at you.
Least of all you, I presume.
Oh, hell no. She hates me. And he's just grinning.
Well, sure, I'll take it. Worst that can happen is they don't let me in.
He reaches into the like the really low hanging sleeves as if they're like almost designed to look as if they catch on everything, and he just reaches inside, wiggles around like he's reaching into a bag, and takes out one of the same golden filigree, silver outline, and silver bullet designs, and he hands it out to you.
Iris takes it. This is gorgeous. I'll have a fun time with it, if nothing else.
Oh yeah, she actually designed these. I'm shit at making designs.
Somehow this doesn't surprise me. She's smiling.
He just barks out a laugh.
Listen, if you are the leader of the Silver Bullets, tell me your second hand I said hi.
Of course, she always loves to meet a fan. And between one blink and the next, there's only a puddle of shadow and gloom. Well, the gloom in the sense of like it's dark before you just watch it melt away.
So there's no actual gloom.
No, it's kind of like shade and shadow.
Iris sort of rolls her eyes. Oh, this will make an interesting little thing. Guess I can't tell my father's though. And she's going to pin the lapel, pin the pin. So look at her outfit. On the inside of her shawl that she keeps around her shoulders,
Okay.
with like a little knot. Make sure it stays on. She's gonna keep that on for a little while.
Where do you go next?
That's a good question. So now that I've done the faction thing for now,
Mm.
the next order on the agenda was figuring out who's safe to talk to, which means she's going to be calling her father again because she's a daddy's girl.
Do you call Luca, Molly, or Legia?
I want to see if you can play Alicia. I want to see if you can do that.
Sure.
I am giving you the opportunity.
So, how and when do you call Alicia up?
So after like the next morning, she's going to, because Alicia is a very notoriously late sleeper. She's gonna call him bright and early. Just get on her gummy phone.
Almost too fast, as if someone heard the ringtone, wasn't awake, tried to answer, and hit the wrong button. Like that kind of fast. Of like it ended the call before you heard the first ring of like, oh, someone, what the hell?
God, yeah.
He's still getting used to his gummy phone. It's been like 10 years, but give him a break.
Yeah. Iris staring at her phone. Okay. She calls him again.
this time when your father picks up proper and it's not to accidentally hang up on you, and she
Yes.
correct. Apparently I know. She picks up and goes, hello, darling.
Hello, Daddy. Why are you hanging up on me this early in the morning?
I was asleep. You know this.
I do. She sort of rolls her eyes. He can't see it, but he knows. She looks at her room, look around the room, looks back to the phone. I might need some assistance. Can you ask Papa Lucy to pick me up and bring Molly?
Sure. Is there something we should be concerned about?
No. Nothing. No dangers tonight. Today. This morning. It's just something I've been mulling over.
You hear the quizzical eyebrow raise for half a second before going, you know what, you'll tell us. We'll be right over.
I always do. Thank you, Daddy.
Love you, darling. You can hear the like smug kind of look of, see, she said it to me first this morning to someone else before she hangs up. The
God
comp
damn it.
the competition between all of them to get the first I love you of the day.
That's so fucking dorky. I love them so bad.
Do they keep a tally? Wouldn't you like to know?
Iris adores them. So yeah, when the ship arrives, she skips onto it, gives her family the biggie hugs. Even Molly this time. Molly gets it first.
Luca's just over there like, what did I do? Like, you put
Nothing.
you put these three through constant turmoil.
You get so much attention. I should give Molly some too.
Someone bloody gets it.
She's just grinning.
But they do lead
It's
you down to the like private eating areas for the captain and his family.
yeah. Iris sort of puts her hands on the table rather aggressively. Some shit is happening around here, and I am sick and tired of not being able to talk about it.
Luca doesn't seem phased. The other two, however, in varying degrees, are either curious or startled by the sudden aggressiveness at like fucking 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. Sorry, I've been having trouble sleeping. It's. There are things afoot. The game's afoot, as my dearest daddy would say. There's trouble lurking, and I cannot figure out what is real, what is not, and what is my anxiety playing tricks on me.
They're listening. Luca seems kind of in that half-cocked smile of his game of usually not showing much in case there's a peering eye has dropped a little bit.
Right. Iris just pauses. You know the King of the Glooms?
They all nod, though Luca tilts his head a little bit.
Now, you'll forgive me, but my dearest friends are being very, very stupid and trying to get involved with him.
I'd say that's a rather stupid decision in and of itself. No bloody royalty deserves that much attention. As Molly's just muttering to himself.
Yes, well, you have a point, but there's a lot of stuff I've been gathering up. Information, just to make sure everything stays safe. And I'm worried. I
Worried?
think I think the King of the Glooms is doing something. I don't think any royalty is on our side right now, but the thing I'm worried most about, I can't put my finger on.
Is that literal or not?
I wouldn't call it literal, but I just. Something is bugging me about the atmosphere around the academy lately. Everything just. It feels like I can't trust anyone.
Luca just stares and raises an eyebrow as, well, why are you trying to trust anybody? Trust ain't what gets you. It's betrayal. You have to care. You don't have to care to trust.
That's the thing, right? I would like to trust people with information. I want to make sure things go smoothly for my friends because they are my friends. But there's someone knows something, and I don't know who it is, and that thing is dangerous. Now, I hate to root out the good with the bad, which is why I need help separating them.
And yes, come to the most notorious group of idiots. No offense, both of you. Molly looks to the other two, and they're just like, what the? And leans back in his chair and you're going to come to the two most idiotic people and third most capable about rooting out good from evil.
You see, she sort of grins, tilts her head to the side. Both of both the fools and the wise men can learn from their surroundings. It is just the wise men that take it in. And these two never put their preaches into practice. So they still have good preaching. She's grinning at Luca and her dad.
Preaching, Luca kind of makes a joke about it.
And she sort of sighs. So that's the long and short of it. I trust you. You're my family.
We're also kind of hard to imitate, don't you think? And winks at you.
Just a bit.
I think the last time someone tried to imitate Alicia over here, we were able to figure out within the first 5 seconds by asking about an old case. He's just like, that was not my finest moment.
Daddy, did you talk about the snake case again?
She just stares into the middle distance.
Okay. Uh, regardless, what I need is a network. And not only that, but I need someone to look into people close to us. That isn't me. Because I'm more easily caught than you three are.
They look between each other, kind of gauging what their best route is. And you've seen this look before. It's the same look that happens split seconds before they choose, a riot in the middle of town square or to sneak into a castle just to steal the most inane thing and have people question why they were there.
Good God.
It's one of their plan making looks.
Yes.
And Molly speaks up first. Well, love, do you need someone to figure out the nitty gritty? Or do you need someone to just walk up to them and have tea with them?
I think one of you being setting up the network of information, putting out a net as it were, and then two of you want to discuss the finer points of daily life, and then the other of you to do some more surreptitious discussions. Might be beneficial.
So, what information do you need, sweetheart? From Molly.
That's the thing. I need to find out what. I think someone close to us is feeding information to dangerous sources. And it's quite possible that Lex is in danger. Not just Lex, all of us.
Molly kind of gives you a look of the look of you can read it so clear. It's just as isn't that your jobs as Keyblade voters? From like this is from Molly, who's a kind of similar to a materia wielder.
It's not at a level we're ready to take on. Whoever has their eyes on us, I think we're in over our heads. I'm trying to get us out of that position.
And Molly kind of shrugs. I can help out with getting the network set up, but as far as that's concerned, I need a basis on which to start. I can't just say, "Hey, I need shit," you know?
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Um, well, I wish I had suspects for who the. Actually, can I roll for this? Can I roll for like potential suspects that of like a mole in our midst?
Sure.
All right.
Either intelligence or I guess
Investigation.
yeah, intelligence in general for a general overview or investigation for you've been keeping an eye out.
I mean, probably a mix of both. So I'll do 2 rolls.
Okay.
Um, intelligence roll. That's not good. That's a 9. So general overview. I don't have a wide pool of suspects to choose from, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And then investigation. That is a 21.
Who would have been Iris's first lean towards there's a mole in their midst?
Um, whoever is like she's looking at people close to like who know Lex well, if not or well enough, and then so teachers because I don't think any students know Lex particularly well besides the friends,
Mm-hmm.
and then um in terms of like anything else, she'd probably be looking at the King of the Glooms. She just does not trust that bitch. She doesn't trust the White Queen either, but the King of the Glooms is the one that is more fully involved with the friends right now, you know?
Mm-hmm. So, of teachers you know have made an effort to get close to Lex from what you've seen of your time with him, you know that Avery and Salem have spent a lot of time around him, both before they left on their own vacation and before anything happened.
Okay.
You also know that the rogue teacher has taken an interest in him, in your sector at least.
Okay.
And as for the King of the Glooms, you have that innate sense that something is wrong. If only
Right.
because he has done nothing to either dissuade or help in the fact that he might, actually have a part to play in this aside from what other people have said about him.
Right. He's not made any strong stance, and that's concerning.
Hmm. So, do
Um,
you label those?
yes. So Avery and Salem just she doesn't like distrust them, but she wants to make sure that their motives aren't impure, essentially. Whether or not they're altruistic, that's one thing, but impure is the one she's worried about. Um,
As soon as you
if they're
mention Avery and Salem, Lucas snorts but doesn't say anything.
oh dear, I'll just keep up that in a minute. And then, what is the rogue teacher's name?
Vicar. Vikar.
I'd like you to keep an eye on Mr. Vicar as well.
Alright.
get some information out of that. And then I just don't feel safe. Well, I shouldn't feel safe around the King of the Glooms, but I just don't. There's something wrong. Something. I need more information.
He is a wanted fugitive, love. Like, we're any
It's
better,
not.
I know, but
It's not that. And she sort of has to think about how she's going to word this. I've had a feeling, based on what I know and what my friends have told me, that first of all, the White Queen and the King of the Glooms, something's weird about them. They're out of sorts. And then there's another layer on top of that. Check the grid. The grid has information that might help, I think.
there's a glance shared between Molly and Luca of just a quick decision of who's going where, and there's a smirk on Molly's lips of he won an unspoken mental battle. There's a roll of eyes
So,
from Luca, and then just fine.
which one of you is doing what? Just so I can keep tabs.
Molly leans in and kind of crosses one hand over the other. I'm going to head to the grid, see if I can get my old network connections to filter out again.
Okay.
Luca kind of shrugs, says, I'm just letting you take the notes.
Yeah. There we go.
Luca shrugs and says, I might as well deal with, I'm stealthy enough. If I can't take something by the ground, I'll take it by the air. So I'll try and keep in a bird's eye view on the King of the Glooms. How fast could he be?
Excellent. Excellent. She's giving Luca a look. And then Daddy, are you
Yes, my
paying
dear?
attention? Okay.
He looks as if he was deep in thought about something, as if taking in
Hmm.
information and making his own conclusions already.
Hmm. Um. Okay. So, do you think you could talk to the teachers, gather some stuff about that?
I don't
You're
see why I
always good with
couldn't.
the. You're very good with the groundwork. So.
That I am. And he kind of smiles, like proud of himself.
Oh, don't be proud of yourself.
Just still grinning, but not as hoity toity anymore.
Iris is very happy. All right. Um. If there's anything else I should tell you. Oh, yes. This one's another important thing. I'm going to be looking into time loops.
The, Alicia and Molly just go, you're looking into, huh? At the same time. And Luca doesn't
But
seem
Luca, who
bothered.
knows?
Mm-hmm. Luca doesn't seem bothered in the slightest.
um. So I have a question to ask of you, Papa Lucy,
Hmm.
before I start. Um. Have you died before by any chance?
Multiple times.
Excellent.
And Molly's just like, what? Oh no, hold on.
Oh, I realized how odd that sounded. No. It's uh, um.
And then Alicia
Do
is just like, I know you can withstand a lot of combat, but dying and coming back, isn't that a rare trait? Is it? Just the, like, defining, is it?
Uh, without a resurrection, yes, I think.
Eh. But then he leans back again.
Oh my god. So ultimately, you should have some knowledge of. And she doesn't want to say it outright, so she's sort of like looking at him a little bit desperately, like with big eyes.
Luca is at first not paying attention, just messing with the lapels on his shirt in that manner of, oh, this is gonna be fun. And then you look at him and he's like, oh, I should help.
Yes, that would be helpful, to say the least.
I would not call it a loop, from what I remember.
Okay.
It's more like a, what was that term you used a while ago, Leisure?
Hmm?
I, and he just, Alicia gives that look of like, we had like 4 conversations before breakfast kind of look. And then goes, ah, the Mobius Strand. Here's that one.
The. Oh, I don't think I've heard of that one. Hold on. Uh, and she's going to pull out her gummy phone and go to Google,
Mm-hmm.
which means I'm going to Google.
Mm-hmm. It's called the Mobius Loop or the Mobius Strand.
Mobius loop. Mobius strip. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck? Okay. So there's. So you mean to imply that the loop changes sometimes?
Yes. I have not always
So it.
been Dread Captain, apparently. But all that you've ever known of me is that I have.
Okay. And. And I know that we weren't in it. She glances at her father. Have we been in it before at all?
There have been times when I have not met you. There are times that I know you have been safe on your world. Other times your world gets eradicated first as a precaution.
What?
Even Alicia is just like, excuse me. And then Molly pipes up with, it's kind of a safety measure from the fucking Magic Kingdom of if there's a chance of it being taken over by Glooms instead of Heartless, they kind of make the decision first instead of letting anybody fight that battle.
Oh, God. So, this is the first time I've been out. That I left home.
There's been one other time, I think. I can't quite remember it though.
Alright, I'll look into that then. Thank you.
For what? Isn't this what family's for? A hijinks in a high heist situation.
I'm just glad you're my father this time.
Oh, even if I wasn't in your life, I'd be some form of family member to you.
Well, Iris
Why did
stands up.
my only thought go to the meme of look to the western sky, Batman?
Iris sort of stands up from the table, goes and gives each of her dads a little kiss on the cheek. I have some work to do. Papa Lucy, do you think you could take me to the little, the place with the thing?
My
The tree?
temple?
Yeah.
Alright. Any particular reason?
I'm going to try and see the... She pauses. The thing you don't like again.
Which one? You do a lot of that, you're a teenager.
I'm almost 20. Wait, am I 20? I think I'm 20. Oh, God. And she just sort of... It's, just... I have to do it. I need a teleportation spell for it.
Alright. He stands up, looks to the other two of like a kind of a go team kind of look, except please don't die this time kind of look now.
Yeah. So this is the last thing on my agenda is speaking to the nameless. Because the nameless has some pretty primary source information in the loops.
So you do get there to the temple. Do,
Now,
do you have a way that you're
I do...
accessing the nameless timeline?
Say again?
Do you have a way you're accessing the nameless timeline because your father is otherwise not going to leave you alone?
The plan is... Hold on. The plan is to utilize vortex warp or someone else's teleportation,
Mm-hmm.
and fuck around with it. Essentially, focus as much as possible on the nameless and see if that drags me towards it. I will, however, ask for basically a fail safe so that if I get stuck, someone can pull me out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Luca could probably provide that, knowing him.
He's a bastard of a mage caster, so possibly.
But yeah, do you think like leaving an item would help with that? Right, because if he casts teleport and then there's an item, they can drag me back, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, she's going to leave her Gloom charm with them because it's got enough energy of hers on it at this point. We are causing problems.
You sure are.
Cyrus is going to wait for the teleportation circle to be cast.
You almost visibly see him hesitate of just, I don't see why you're doing this kind of thing. But
He's a
he
primary source.
just a groan of he knows he's not going to be able to sway you.
I'm sorry.
Here they are,
I'll be
your
back soon.
father's daughter. And he
She
reaches
waves at
out one
him.
hand and snaps. And within the blink of an eye, in front of you, in that little tiny, like 10-foot space of the circle, inner circle,
Mm-hmm.
is a small, maybe 1 to 2 person teleport circle.
All right. I expect you to pull me out if something bad happens.
So of course, naturally. Why else am I here?
She blows him a kiss. And
He
steps
takes a slight
inside.
bow.
God. She's going to step inside and she's going to imagine that jungle with the nameless within it. She's going to think very hard about that fragment.
Make an Arcana check.
Okay. Nat 20! Let's go, baby!
So what happens is that you realize that the initial like dark, crowded jungle that you had seen yourself in the last time was not dark and crowded at all. It was just overgrown. And you don't see the nameless that you're looking for. Not initially, but you do hear humming from with your passive perception, even with the slight ringing of magic in your ears. You do hear about 30, 40 feet away just a soft humming of somebody who thinks and believes with wholehearted certainty that they are alone, so it doesn't matter how loud they are.
Iris is going to follow that sound and step through the portal.
Of course.
I love bullying you so bad.
It's fun.
I hope you're enjoying my bullshit.
Yeah, I am. You're just testing it. I'm joking.
It seems to be like I seem to be able to get some information that is worth looking at the very least.
And what do you do? Do you head towards the sound or do you head towards what you know is of what you've seen?
The sound. Staying stealthy, of course, but it's more important to be able to find who I'm looking for rather
Mm-hmm.
than what I've seen before. Oh.
You approach a kind of nice clearing, and you realize that this was an extension of that overgrown jungle. And even here, it is still kind of overgrown, but it seems that a couple of arrow spells and arrow shield spells that you recognize were able to cut through the grass and give a small opening.
Hmm.
You do
Iris is.
see from the shadows of where you're stealthing along, you see the familiar bright reds and the deep, almost purplish black of hair in the sunlight.
Mm, uh, Lexi, too?
Oh, you're back. Great. And this is not a voice
Uh,
you initially recognize, as his voice has gotten deeper.
um, yes. Hello. I had some questions for you.
And he stands up from his knelt down position, and you see that he was collecting a couple of, smaller berries that grow along the edges of forest lines and some flowers, presumably, as you look at them from your own experience, for herbal medication and sometimes for flavor.
Are you making something?
Just keeping my hands busy.
Hmm.
What do you need? I'll try to answer, but you know how it is.
You are the only person I've met who knows concrete information about the time loops. So, I've come to ask a little bit for guidance, a little bit for past experience.
And he just steps forward closer to you, and you're at the top of an incline, as you notice, and he just gets closer. And just the same as last time, every step he takes, every 5 or 10 feet closer, his outfit changes as if he has no control over what he looks like physically, aside from his eyes and hair.
Right.
So, what's your questions?
Um, well, to start, Apparently, there has been one time where I have been present. Are you aware of that one? But beyond this one.
He pauses, kind of tilts his head to the right, then to the left, looking off to the opposite side as if thinking. "Oh, maybe a long time ago. I remember seeing or hearing about a pink-haired vigilante, but I don't know if that was you."
I see. Her eyes is like her eyes go wide a bit, and then she sort of smiles to herself. All right, and then I guess I just want to know what tends to be the downfall. What tends to be the point where everything goes wrong? Have we crossed that threshold?
It's less the singular point, I think, and more the crests and falls. Your our group is very good at climbing out of holes they dug themselves.
Hmm. So, are you making more connection then?
No, I'm going based off of my experience.
You said our group.
Yes,
I see. Uh, well, that is true. Lexi. She hesitates. I'm scared.
you should be. If anybody tells you you shouldn't be scared, then they're scared shitless themselves.
I know. It's.
But I can't keep doing this forever.
You're doing what you can. And I deeply appreciate it. I'm grateful that you're keeping us standing. I hope that helps. Uh, she hesitates again, trying to find words. What do I do? I feel like I'm not doing enough.
He shakes his head. You are. Your interference alone, while it may be my end, might be your group's success. Because this time around, you guys are actually finding stuff out about me. Whether that's a good or a bad thing, I'm not sure. Maybe this time
What?
I'll actually get to see my parents before I die.
Iris winces at that, but she's smiling a little bit. So your parents are alive?
Oh yeah, or at least they should be. I don't have control over what happens in your go of reality right now. I just have
Well,
control of it not immediately crashing.
right. Um, is there a way I can help bolster your. Keep you going a little longer?
I'm afraid not. Once you reach, can I say this? And he pauses, kind of thinking to himself on how to phrase it. When you start finding iridescent and opalescent dragon scales along the ground where you've never walked before, these meetings will never happen again.
Say, you muffled at the end.
These meetings will never happen again.
Scales along round I see. She takes another step forward. She hugs him. Really hard.
You hear a shuddering breath, as if he's trying to keep composure for a second. It's been a while since I've gotten a hug like that.
Muffled into his shoulder. You may not be my Lexi, but you're connected to him all the same. When I get to see him again, I'm going to do whatever I can to keep him happy, safe, and alive. That's the most important thing right now, because he seems to be a linchpin for this world's survival. She takes a deep breath, moves her hands to his shoulders, and looks up at him. I want this world to survive. That is my utmost goal.
This world or yours?
All of them. All of them that I can help.
He takes a breath. When you see each other again, start with Neverland.
As you wish. He gives him a smile and steps back.
And before you go,
Hmm?
a little cryptic riddle for you. And he grins.
Oh?
Seek the trust of a fairy, the guard of a pirate, and the distrust of a lost boy.
Very well. This is all centered around Neverland, I presume.
Yeah, you got it.
Understood. Well, I'm going to see if I can't get back home.
Why don't you use that pin of yours? He smiles a little awkwardly of I'm trying not to be suspicious.
How the fuck did you know that?
Oh, they have hidden magic laced in them. Only people who know
Oh,
what they're looking for can ever see them.
but you a member of the... You know what?
There's a wink.
You'll Maybe I'll ask him about it. Who knows? Still, she smiles. Thank you for your help. And keep your head up. You're my friend too.
I'll try.
And with that, she takes the pin, holds it, puts her hands around it, and says, Is there an activation phrase? Can I just say I'd like to go home, please?
You activate it however way you deem fit.
Oh, great. There's no place like home.
And within a blink, you're back next to Luca. Like, not even in the circle, you're just back next to Luca.
Okay. Well, immediately let's go of the pin. It's just before he can catch his. Well, I guess I'll roll sleight of hand to see if he catches me.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Does a 16 make it?
Nope.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem to say anything if he notices, though.
Okay. I've gotten some good information.
I sure hope so. You were gone for like 3 hours.
Oh, great. Didn't feel like that to me, but better than a day, I suppose. She kind of hugs her dad again. I love you so much. You're my hero.
I just felt Luca just crumble. I was like, I have a facade to keep up. No, I don't. That's my baby. But is there any one last thing you'd like to do, or is that all
I
for
have to
now?
think. Iris is gonna look back at the place where the teleportation circle was. Look at Luca. I've got my work fucking cut out for me, don't I?
You do.
Well, time to get cracking. And I'm gonna end that there.
Okay.